Welcome back, everybody, to the First Gen Farm. We got a lot of new things lined up today, one of which is we are going to head out and start checking fields. It is just about harvest time in the month of September. We got one more good round of hay we need to cut, which there is a special guest going to be joining us. But secondly, we have a new business opportunity that we're going to be discussing with the co-op to really harness the power of earning some extra moolah. Let's get to it. Our corn crop is looking fantastic. I will not be doing anything with the ground directly next to my farm, but if we pop up into the map and take a look at the plots, the cooperative is looking to buy out some land and make seed corn plots that they can use to sell to the farmers come next season. The game plan is to kind of buy out a plot like the one just south of my farm and turn this into seed corn, where it would be then detasseled in the month of roughly July and August. If you don't know what detasseled corn looks like, usually sometimes there's like one big row in the middle and then there's 4-row gaps. That's so the pollination of the male part on the top of the corn can just pollinate those 4 rows, which are the female parts of the plant. A corn plant, if you didn't know, is both male and female. Top part male, bottom part female. So that little brown thing, yeah, that's the tassel. But on to other news. The cows are going to need fed, and for that, we need to mow some grass. But before I get too invested with the pull-type mower up at my neighbor's, we got to head down to the dealer and pick up something that has been sent out to us courtesy of Case IH. If you guys are fans of the First Gen Farm and you'd love to see us keep growing and expanding our territory, be sure to let me know down below by smashing the like button and consider subscribing. Squad Built Equipment has been watching us very closely on this farm vlog and wanted to help us out by hooking us up with the Case IH windrower. Kind of like the MacDon in Farm Sim, but it's a Case IH variant. Now, to note, we do not get to keep this thing at all, and nor can I afford it in the slightest. But if we do choose to possibly purchase said piece of equipment, we are going to get one heck of a discount if we are possibly willing to maybe work on a contract deal with them that we can help promote some of the new equipment. I don't know if I'm really big enough of an operation to justify that yet, but this is an awesome opportunity and I sure as heck am going to take advantage of it. This thing is awesome and probably is going to help save quite a bit of time, mainly due to the speed and efficiency that lacked with the pull type. The pull type would get like caught on some weird gaps all the time, and better yet, when you try to go on a sharp turn, it literally just jackknife the whole setup. But I think it would be a great idea to start out with our Dorito field and just see how well this thing actually works. Running this is going to spoil me, so I'm really going to have to work my keister off if I want to buy the thing. This is about a $245,000 setup, and within just, like 10 seconds, I can already tell I'm jealous. I want it. What makes me sad is that this is probably the only piece of cabbed equipment I'm using on my farm at this point. That really upsets me. Got a nice AC, efficient cutting deck. This is the life. But again, in fairness, this thing is worth probably double the value of almost every single piece of equipment on my farm put together, with the exception of maybe the combine. Is it just me, or do those beans look like they're ready? Ain't no way that bean plot is ready. I'll be dipped in stick. Those are some early beans. I think that was rented ground, because I'm pretty certain that's not Thomas's. Well, we're certainly not diving into harvesting yet, even though those beans are ready to go. We'll give it a couple more weeks to dry out. It's been pretty moist the last couple days, or should I say the last couple weeks. If you guys did not notice on the last episode, it might have been edited just a little bit different. That is because I kind of got behind schedule and I did not want Cameron to have to rush to get a product out, so I actually edited the last video on the big time operators. If you don't mind that from time to time, where I might just have to edit the videos, I appreciate your patience, but hopefully Cam's amazing work of keeping content flowing smoothly continues to help this channel grow. And since we're down at the auction block, let's check on the cattle for the weight. I'm not certain of where they're at. Ooh, we got some calves. 2 of them to be exact. That's a heavy cow. What about the pasture? All of them are, of course, going to be needing me to feed, but we're almost at about 8 1/4, a little over 8 1/4. They got a ways to go before we can get them to market. And it's a good thing, too, because I bought them pretty close to the low market, trying to get them when they were high. I'm sure we'll figure it out, but after we get parts of this done, I might jump up in the drone to get some shots. We're just gonna grab the rake, start getting the food prepared on the bale wagon. I went and looked at another hay rack, started to run low on transportation space. So to speed up efficiency, found another cheap wagon for about 5 grand as well. Just gotta go and pick that up across state lines. I just cannot believe how much faster this windrower is than my pull type. DJ, cue the music.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out.
Took a little jog back to the farm, not too far of a run, even though I hate running. We'll get the rake on line 1. Little farm LM is currently stationed up at the north yard. I still got the fertilizer spreader attached to it, so we might want to take that back to the cooperative, but I probably will go and look at a couple different plots of ground to see where the co-op might want to build this seed corn plot, because if we are going to be the ones managing that, we'll just pretty much get a percentage of the return once the seeds are, you know, chemically treated, ready to be bagged, that whole process, and it's sent off to market. I am just appalled though at how those beans are ready. Let me grab a few pods. I just got to see what the moisture of that thing feels like, because I swear we're still at least a couple weeks out from harvest. That's starting to feel kind of dry. Try a little further in. Yeah, it still feels a bit dewy, a little squishy. Definitely will have to be our first field that we'll get into, but it's still got at least about a week or 2 out. Gotta get the combine dialed in, make sure we're not throwing beans out the back. It might have taken me a little while, but I think I finally figured out how the fertilizer system works for the grass. If you spread urea, that is the best way to get a 50% yield boost on your grass crop. Most of this ground should have already been spreaded with that, and the only way we'll be able to tell is, of course, on our return. Might want to get the windrower out of the way, but better yet, might want to get him on his way to the north farmyard. Daryl on the case. I'm in the other case. Let's migrate north. Need you guys to head down to the comments section. Let me know what is your preferred brand of seed. I know some people got some local brands, but quite a few of us use the big box companies. For instance, like Pioneer, DeKalb, Channel, Asgrow, which I think Asgrow is actually only beans. But you get the point. I know Grant used Wiffles hybrids, and that is a thinner stock hybrid, according to his seed rep. And most of the people in my area either run Pioneer or Channel. This might be slightly petty of me, but one specific detail I love the most about a Swather, and I get it, the design of these just don't show them. I love watching the fan blade, like, that clears the side of the airbox, just spin really slowly behind the machine. It's always like so mesmerizing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up a picture of a New Holland Swather from like the mid 2000s and you'll see that big fan thing on the back. It's so like visually captivating, it's not even funny. On to field number 2. Now I'm curious, is the mower deck on the front of this the same or bigger than the pull type? I'm pretty sure it's bigger. So that's the pull type. Oh, that's most certainly bigger. One of those H&S mergers would be awesome, but we clearly do not have 90,000, and the thing that's blinking, the round baler, is the style of bale I would like to go to. Not a huge fan of the square bale market, but they are slightly easier to transport and separate out since they're in a smaller quantity, or should I say volume, per unit. Just gotta keep on clicking. Maybe someday we'll have that much money. I need a small loan of $1 million. I don't remember off the top of my head where the bucket was placed, but the bucket that helps us unload the manure for the cattle pasture, no, calving pen back at my place, we'll need to locate that since we're finally starting to get some newer animals in the pen that might start stacking up. But that also means we're going to have to look into possibly getting an H&S manure spreader, which, I mean, I would like to spread manure on the grass. It'd be a lot better than spreading chemical. I just don't know what manure classifies as a fertilizer in this game. Is it classify as nitrogen, or does it classify as technically P and K? That might be something we can look in the help section for. Aha! It does contain nitrogen. There's our goal. We want to be spreading all of the fields with manure. Rather be feeding the animals I'm giving this to naturally fed grass, rather than chemically managed grass. Wonder what Daryl's doing down on the rake, if he's done or not. We could probably get the 1206 strapped up to the square baler. Yep, he's done. I cannot be certain if I will get one last cutting in before the winter falls and the grass technically goes dormant, but we are going to do our dangest. That is if the harvest season has anything to say about it. Something I also forgot about is the plot up on the very top of the map. We planted that grass last episode. How's that doing? Of course it's ready to harvest. That's good. But what's that one to the left of my little square? That is also beans. Okay, so we got 2 fields of beans, and technically the one up by Arthur's ready to go as well. That also just made me I screwed up on the people. I cross-referenced Thomas. Thomas is actually from the Big Time Operator, not the first gen. Arthur's first gen. But hey, we can bring Thomas over onto this series as well. I don't mind. Corey's most certainly done with the Swather up north. We'll shuffle him over to one field to the north, and the rake will go to the south, and then of course it's just going to keep going. Makes enough sense in my head, so I'm going to stick to that plan. Thinking about our cattle situation, we will need to start looking into getting something for forage harvesting. I really do not want to have to get that pull type, but I think it's really going to be our only choice because I certainly do not have enough money to afford the brand new New Holland. But we'll need something to get cattle feed into the harvester bin because they will not be able to fully reproduce efficiently on just hay alone. We want to make sure they are getting their total mixed rations. And I just can't think off the top of my head what the number was for all the equipment I need. I feel like it was somewhere in the 100,000 range. There goes Corey. You gotta go north. Let's pop back down to the 1206 and get baling. That way the moo-moos can get their food. Lovely. If you guys missed it in the latest American Farming update, RCC has finally opened. And one great thing that it offers to you as players is the ability to customize colors of vehicles. Now, for something like this Farmall, you can't really change the color of that, to my knowledge. But for things like the pickups and the semis, you are able to. I just don't need to change any of the colors because the 2 blue vehicles are the co-ops, and then the red 6.0 is my personal pickup, and I like it being red. Couple rows in, and we are just about at half a rack. I think I am seeing the yield boost that we got from the nitrogen, but I wonder if I can run over to the store and grab the second hay rack. Because it'd be nice to be able to just switch off and keep moving. And I'm not even what looks to be halfway done with this thing. So I might fill this thing up pretty quick. I get it, I'm on the long runs, but still, we got a lot of grass. Working what is still left of the headlands. I'm going to try and sneak over to the store and grab that other hay rack. I'm pretty certain we'll be able to get this done. Oh, never mind. It's already full. Wow, that is a huge boost in yield. Yeah, we are definitely going to need that other trailer. Give me a minute. Full wagon out, empty wagon in. Forgot my truck is still over at the dealer. Might need to go and grab that so we can haul the bales over to the farm. If we're getting almost a rack and a half out of this ground, we might have pretty close to 4 or 5 trailers just before we even get to that top piece of grass. Yikes, we might have a couple we're gonna sell off. That's a lot of bales. And there's even a chance we could get more than half the rack on this field alone. That nitrogen is no joke. Ain't no way we get 2 full racks out of this. Ain't no way. There's about 2.5 stacks left with 2 rows for a second full rack. I just can't see us doing it, but holy cow, here we go. Place your bets. I think I'll be 7 bales short of a full load. This is a long run. Come on, baby. 7 short. 7 short. No. No, we're not getting 2 full racks. There's no way. What? 2 full wagons. 2 full... That is stupid. I mean, that's great. That's great. But that's stupid. We're gonna have so much grass because everything's sprayed with nitrogen. Everything is. If you need me, I'll be taking this to the house. Without blowing a head gasket, can the 6.0 tow 2 full hay racks? Like a breeze. Just don't go too fast. Let's give it the old 0 to 60. See how fast we can get up to speed. Not terrible. You can most certainly, yeah, you can feel the weight. These guys aren't terrible, but the cattle pasture most certainly will need food. We'll take 1 load to the pasture, 1 load to the calving pen, because we know we're going to have quite a few of these loaded so we can take to the trough. Uh-oh. Whoops. Well, that's full for quite a while. I thought it'd just unload one. My bad. Everyone else has to be done with their tasks up north. We'll kind of try and shuffle them back around, finish up down south, and kind of wherever that puts us, we'll see where we need to go. Well, I found the bucket. It's in the way of the rake. He's still been waiting on that the entire time. That's convenient. At least I found it. And luckily, the farm is right around the corner. At some point, I'd like to trailer this thing back down to the southern farm. We might do that once we take care of the rest of our hay work, and things will settle down between then and the harvest. You were obviously done before anything even started. That is a lot of grass. Oh, we'll have at least 5 trailers out of that, no doubt. If I got 2 from the Dorito, how big is this? That's 8.7 to 2 3/4. Holy crud. Good thing we got this sucker. We'd be here for a couple days, or at least a few hours, at least. And you know what? I think that might be where we leave you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Next episode, we'll probably be finalizing some of our preparations with the cattle for winter and kicking off harvest. So be sure to check out the first gen farm playlist up in the top right hand corner of your screen. Other than that, make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. This will be Squad Farms out. Peace.